All right, guys, Red Alert 2 World Series Pro Division action, and today we got some 2v2s, 4 world-class players going at it for the cash prize. Now, team games like this at the top level, it's always kind of run and gun chaos and entertainment, but I gotta say, this series specifically is a true slugfest with all the players going at it till the final bell. You guys are gonna love it, and if you do, or even if you just kind of love it, liking, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff is free for you, and it helps me immensely. I'm trying to get more people watching, playing, and streaming Red Alert 2. It's really as simple as that. And with that in mind, I got to give a big shout out to Trax NYC, who donated $1,000 last week into the stream. Any of you guys who don't know, all the money that comes into the stream, I do put back into the stream, back into the prize pools to help me create more content. That money will be going towards the end of the year, November, December, where I hope to have the biggest Red Alert 2 World Cup of all time. If you guys want to play in that tournament or you want to watch it live on Twitch, head over to redalert2.com. You can find all that information. With that, let's get into the game. Now, both these guys going Allied and Soviet, no surprise. That's what you want in 2v2. Mikos did win a 2v2 event with Latov just recently, so he's definitely proven himself as a strong 2v2 player. And Root, Root's a beast, 1v1 and 2v2, but Root, one of the best allied players in the world right now, and a very, very strong, good 2v2 awareness. So Root and Mikos, I think, is the safer bet. You just kind of know what to expect with those guys a little bit more. But if Zane is playing a good game today, of course, betting against Legends always a little bit scary. Get those bets in, guys. You can cast your predictions. Type red or blue in the chat. Get it right, you might get a chance to spin the cash wheel. Golden Knight, gifted sub. Phoenix Tears, you're a sub now. Thank you, Golden Knight, for the sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Okay. So again, guys, we do have a skin on. We added a new skin layer to this, so the Grizzlies and Rhinos, you can see their colors a little bit better. The players can't see those. That's just for us to follow the action in 2v2. Things can get a little bit crazy here. So it is corners to start things off.
That was definitely my fault.
Legend going to go bottom side with Rhinos here. Mikos is there to match, so that's the first early pressure. Grizzlies over now from Root. So Root now very aggressive from the ally player. But look at that awareness right there, right? So Legend brings his Rhinos bottom side. Root comes right in with some Grizzlies, snipes a power plant. So nice Grizzly Rocketeer combo. But Zane gets up there with an IFV, does snipe a couple of those Rocketeers out. Rocketeers so fragile and so expensive early game. Nice value there. As now Zane. So Zane going to try to keep Root honest here. Root goes at Legend, Zane goes at Root. And that's why corners can get so wacky. Beautiful pair drop from Root to help hold. This is still a scary Grizzly number here. See if Zane can continue to get value as we have Mikos going bottom right into Zane's corner. And who got the power up? Root and Mikos just got a bear hug. Oh my gosh, that could be devastating. AFK bear drop from Zane in Legends. Sorry, those guys are on a team. That pair drop does not matter. All right, so Zane pulls back to defend now. Going to push Mikos out of his base. Mikos with the conscript span grabs a refinery and a little 1-2 punch here as Legend comes down to put some pressure on Mikos as well. But Mikos... Mikos has to sell, so Mikos sells, goes all in on this attack, and Legend on the backside going to take out his production. So now you see Root coming at Zane. Oof, you guys, this is nonstop. These GIs need to get called down. They need to run across the entire map, help hold the line here. So Mikos is pretty much out. Now Mikos not producing. So this does devolve into a bit of a 2v1 Root versus both these guys. Legend and, well, Zane's down. So Zane's down in MCV, but still is producing. Bears, War Factory, and AFC. So this is a 2v1, and Zane with a pretty big army as well. And so Zane and Legend come out on top here. Mikos just got a little bit too aggressive, went a little bit crazy there. And, yeah. And that's going to pretty much be all she wrote. Comes down to a pretty bona fide 2v1. Root, of course, still with an MCV here. No reason to not see what he can try to do, but Mikos just essentially out of this fight. If they could have taken out, Zane's production, if Zane would have lost to War Factory, it would have been a very different game. But as it stands, Mikos might as well pull the miners and try to pull the miners in as well. Mikos with 3 conscripts. Now Root just going to get split up here. Rhinos coming in for Legend. Legend goes a little high-low action. Root has to sell the MCV. And yeah, now Zane can come on the top side. So first one for Legend and Zane. Yeah, and a very, very nice look there. Yeah, Legend and Zane. So Legend and Zane playing pretty good. A little bit of a breakdown, I think, on Root and Mikos' end. Legend and Zane did some stuff right. I think Root and Mikos made some mistakes, though. So when you do random shit like that, I guess it makes sense that throws them off, but I've explained this to each of them. Mikos is the funniest because Mikos is like, how does this work? Mikos, you've already played a tournament where we did this. You won the tournament last time. Anyway, guys, we're rolling dice for the random spots. In this case, we do get top versus bottom here. So Zane and Legend on the top, and we got Root and Mikos on the bottom. So Zane and Legend going to swap, build off of each other's MCVs. I've seen this a few times. You know, it depends. You know, you might be doing it because you want to get a better matchup versus someone. AVS, there's a lot of considerations with it. So this will get a little bit confusing, but basically Zane's MCV is here, but Legend's going to build his production here. So AVS, yeah, that first point, pretty decisive for Legend and Zane. Root and Mikos just not really clicking there, I don't think. Again, like Legend and Zane played it fine. I think they did good. They're strong players, obviously, but Root and Mikos just weren't really clicking. Mikos went maybe a little bit too crazy, maybe a little bit too aggressive early on there. But again, guys, Mikos, you know, did win with Latov in that last 2v2, so definitely a strong player. We'll see what we get here. Yeah, man, all the layers. I gotta dial in the layers. I think all the subs and all the random stuff. It's funny because it's like 4% of the viewers love them, and then the rest are just annoyed. I think I gotta turn them up a notch because you got a couple of guys like genetically is committed to hitting the hype tank every 30 minutes. So that's why you can't have nice things. They get a little bit too overused and they're not fun anymore. So we need to dial it back. And then 2 unicorns back to back. That was crazy. Unicorns are only supposed to come 5% of the time. Anyway, probably focus a little bit more on the game. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what's more important, unicorns or the game. Hard to say. Hard to say. All right, so nothing crazy too much here. Legend now going to try to put some pressure. So conscripts. So this is nice. Mikos brings a barracks on this side to pump conscripts. Oh, that's nice. So he's pumping conscripts to help out Root's push here on the left side. He's got rhinos on the right side. So Mikos spreading himself out here. Conscripts on the left, rhinos on the right. Yeah, we'll see. Now, in a 1v1 on this map, you see all the action pulled towards the center here to get these gems. 2v2 is a little bit more chaotic. It's definitely more viable. You might not see that all. If you get into a mid-late game, it's huge to get on those gems. Mikos sells. Dude, Mikos is all in, balls out. Barracks on both sides. Conscripts on both sides of the map. He sends some conscripts in to help. Root's in trouble here going at Legends, Rhinos. Going to be very, very tough. Paradrop comes in, though. Now some Rockies in this fight as well. So Zane's Rockies helping Legend out. Legend and Zane looking tough here, boys. And Mikos trying to put pressure on the right side here. And Mikos, again, he did the same thing last time, just kind of this all-in attack that didn't work, and I don't think it's going to work this time either. Legend rolling through the left side. Root and Mikos going to need to head back to the battle lab and seriously kind of reconsider what they're doing here, I think. Mikos, there's a lot of smoking grizzlies. Mikos could consider trying to do something. I mean, he sold his MCV, so you don't really have an empire to go back to here. Okay, so now pushing. So yeah, now Mikos giving Zane more time to get fodder into this fight. So I think Mikos' position is only going to get worse on that right side. Root's doing a decent job holding off Legend on this side, but Mikos in trouble over here, and he can't go into those GIs. Mikos has 4K in the bank, so he did sell. I mean, when you sell your MCV, you know, that financial push you get can certainly be nice, but I mean, it comes at a cost. Obviously, you kind of commit yourself to pushing, especially if your opponent reads that, then they can go into a defensive position, which is oftentimes much easier to hold. Root hopping up on that higher ground, very nice unit control there, and Legend without much fodder in this fight. Very nice unit control though. And now Zane pushing down on Mikos. Now Mikos stuck holding the line. When you sell the MCV, you really want to be the aggressor. Root has sold the MCV as well. Topside has both their MCVs. Now over to Battle Lab Tech for Zane, but Zane is putting himself broke for the moment. Mikos, pull the miners, dude. Just time to get weird, I think. I mean, can they really afford to sit? No MCVs against 2 MCVs. I don't know if I don't know. I feel like the position's only going to get worse for these guys. I mean, it's a tough position. You know, pushing I don't think is a great idea, but sitting back I'm not even sure it counts as an idea once you're down 2 MCVs at the 4-minute mark here. And these Grizzly numbers only getting scarier here from Zane. Again, Battle Lab as well, so the Mirage tank's coming. Zane pulls his Rockies back to the right side to help out with Mikos. Root gearing up as well. Both these guys producing, you know, both Root and Mikos do have an economy behind them, so they do have reinforcements coming in. And Mikos, blast by blast, pushing into these Grizzlies. You see Zane just kind of redrawing the line in the sand, just doesn't want to make any mistakes here. He knows he's up. Oh, he sells his MCV. Oh, sorry, that was Legend's MCV. So Legend sold an MCV. Zane, who was on the right side of the map, sold his MCV on the left side. Mikos going to work, but the flak tracks, these Rockies getting a lot of damage. Now the paradrop. Mikos Miko's going to work. Miko's going to work, but now Legend has Desolators out. That he has one smoking flak track. If Root can isolate that flak track and maybe open things up for his Rockies, Root goes right into Legend's army on the right side. Miko's, oh, and both these guys going right at each other, and oh, he takes a heavy Deso hit, but nice unit control, and Root with a ton of Grizzlies. Now the Desolator has him on the run. He needs to get the Rocky on that Desolator. Rocky on the Desolator, and Miko's is pushing back. What? Wow, that is very surprising. Root now has a billion Grizzlies. I'm not really sure where they're coming from at this point. And Miko's blows through Zane on the right side. And Zane had to settle, so now it's a no MCV game. And now things are pretty much even. Well, no. Oh, Zane goes down. Zane goes down. Now it's a 2v1. That surprised me. That surprised me. I did not think that was looking good. I did not think Miko's was going to break that line on the left side. And Root blows through on the left side. All right. All right. We got ourselves a game. Blue team showed up. I was a little worried about Miko's and Root. All right, guys, so now over to point number 3 here. Again, best of 5, so a quick one here. And Miko's and Root waking up here. Now they're on the right side again, Allied versus Soviet. Looks like everyone's going to be building off their own. Oh, double Sov. Double Sov for Legend and Zane. So this was their map pick. They're going to go double Sov here and just try to put on that early pressure. Now, top level 2v2. Generally, you do want that Allied and Soviet kind of synergy playing off of each other. But, you know, certainly a double Soviet from 2 players like this. Early aggressive Rhinos can be very tricky. Kind of split things up, pinch one player out. You know, small map, you can kind of run and gun quick on this one. Horse with the fall, thanks buddy, appreciate it. Yeah, so that last game, yeah, slowly, good point. Yeah, that last game, I kind of, you know, I stream a lot of Blitz, right? And the economy in Blitz is very different because you're building oils. And so in Blitz, you know, once a player is in the corner, they don't necessarily have to expand out. So if you're on their doorstep, you know, and you continue to jab, if you're not getting value, you're not getting value. However, in regular Red Alert 2, slowly a good point there in that last game, I kept saying like, they need to go. But, you know, it's important to note there that basically they have the castle surrounded and they're kind of starving them out because by Miko's and Root pushing in on Legend and Zane like that on the top side, they were preventing them from expanding out, getting on those next war patches. So I forget there is a lot of value in that map control aspect, obviously valuable in multiple ways offensively, but tactically to cut off your opponent's ability to expand out their economy, certainly big there. And Zane and Legend just, yeah, did struggle to keep up, even having that MCV advantage. Yeah, a little bit surprising to see one Rhino down right away to try to go at a mine. It's a 1-2. Oh, this is, oh, Legend. Oh, it's not going to matter. Okay, so that miner got droned. That miner was droned. Legend brought a 1-2 punch. He brought the drone, and then he brought a Rhino to help finish off the miner that was droned. But then he started shooting a different miner. I thought that was a misclick. He got the miner anyway. But a lot of times you send that drone, and players will just service depot it right away. So you send in a Rhino or a Rocketeer to try to 1-2 punch it. That was a little confusing, but maybe he just thought, hey, I'm going to get that miner with the drone anyway. I'll try to get another one, but... Anyway, they did get one miner from Miko's bottom right. Now Miko's in with 2 Rhinos going at a power plant. Sentry gun for Legend will push him back there. Now a Rocketeer into the fight as well, but a flak track matching right away. So both these guys with flak tracks. As 4 Rhinos from Zane and now down the middle lane. And Root's paradrops are prophetic, man. They like come, they come wherever you watch. If you want to know where someone's about to attack from, go look at Root's paradrop. They show up 3 seconds before the attack every time. So nice paradrop. I like that in that lane. Try to cut down that middle lane there for Root, especially against 2 Soviet players. You gotta be thinking we look a little bit defensive here. But Miko's doesn't know defense. Miko's says what defense? Miko's says double Sov. I don't care. He's going at the miners. Dude, I love this aggression. So now Zane gonna go top side here. I wonder if it'd be viable for Root to consider, you know, maybe trying to destroy one of these bridges to reduce the chances for Legend to push. And look at this, Miko's going right at Legend's tanks. Love that. Now, a little bit of value there. It is ultimately going to have to pull out, but he's hanging and banging on the bottom side. Zane now pressuring on the top side. This is where it can get a little bit tricky. Look at Zane playing off that cliff to shoot down on these GIs to open up the mid lane as well. Try to spread Root out a little bit. Root obviously relying on stationary defense a little bit. Now, Miko's, love the aggression, buddy. You bit off a little bit more than you could chew there. You were out tanked 2-1. Not a great idea. This tank now a vet as well, which can be a little bit tricky. Root should be able to hold top side. The bigger issue here is Miko's on the bottom. Only a couple tanks in now, but does force, and Miko's going broke though, so he sold that refinery, try to get a little bit more money in the bank. Now with sentry support, this wouldn't be that big of an issue, but Miko's going broke. Miko's doesn't even have the money. He's slow on that repair, and Legend dives on that war factory comfortably and does get it. And yeah, Legend going to continue to put pressure on Miko's here. And I think Zane understands the assignment. He just needs to dangle and keep Root's attention. And Root really can't afford to go bottom side and help. As I say that, he brings a Prism Tower. Nice teamwork there, but Miko's not on a War Factory right now, so not producing tanks, not good. And again, look at Zane. Zane's just like, all right, Root, go help your buddy. Go help your buddy. And the second you leave, I will storm down the gate. So now Root maybe going to try to get a little bit offensive here. He knows things aren't looking good for his teammate bottom right. Miko's still with no War Factory out. And Miko's has pulled his miners to defend, and in the process is losing a lot of his economy. And Root splits up. Root splits up. He's high and low. Zane gets a little bit befuddled on the back end. His tank's slow to respond. Maybe trying to get a Desolator in the fight. Zane just baiting right now. Paradrop on the backside from Root. And so Miko's is doing a good job here. He just needs to stay alive. Is he over to drones? He's still building rhinos. He's about to lose his whole economy. But I kind of thought, and Zane's the one to destroy the bridges. Zane destroys the bridges. Great idea. Great idea, I think. But now it allows Root to come bottom side. So now Root can go elsewhere now these bridges are destroyed. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out for Zane, how he feels about the decision after he allows Root to go run and gun. Now Miko still has an MCV. He still has a barracks, still has a war. Oh, but no money, right? Miko's dead broke, no economy. Literally no economy. 0 miners for Miko's. That's why Legend's comfortable pulling out here. So Root was able to go bottom side. That was tough. What do you guys think? Root maybe could have destroyed those bridges earlier and gone down to help out Miko's maybe. But now look at Zane, all of Zane's tanks in the middle. Now Legend paid most of his tanks. That attack was expensive for Legend, but the reinforcements are coming here. Legend's got 6K in the bank. I think Zane's armies alone is enough to cause some issues for Root. But Miko's. What can Miko's do? Miko's on 2. Miko's can build a refinery, but I don't know, guys. Rocky's topside getting a little bit of value for Root. Now a Kirov out. There's a Dreadnought coming. They did get that Battle Lab. Zane had a Battle Lab that he lost, but he got the Kirov out first. And now Root's in a 2v1 here. Miko's is stuck on sticks and stones down here trying to get a refinery out. There's a Kirov coming. The Dreadnought will come next from Zane. Legend sold the MCV bottom right. Not going to matter. They're gonna clean up Root's army here. So yeah, they put some early pressure. They had a game plan there. Legend went right at Miko's, put the early pressure on. We saw that come down to 2 1v1s, right? The early game, instead of that 2v2, hit and run, pinch and split, we saw more of 2 1v1 games there. And I think that's exactly what Legend wants. Legend wants to isolate Miko's. Of course, 1v1 Rhino for Rhino. Legend a much higher player than Miko's. So very, very comfortable there getting in that position. So now over to point number 4 here. So point number 4. And we have ourselves with corners here. So left and right. Well, not really corners. This map has a weird layout. So Root left, teamed up with Miko's on the right. We got Zane on the top, teamed up with Legend on the bottom. So left and right versus top and bottom. It is best of 5. So Root and Miko's fighting to stay alive here. And you got to say, looking at a 2-1 here, this has been an interesting series because their 2 losses were very one-sided. In a lot of ways, it kind of felt like it was kind of a little bit of blowouts. But then their 1 win, I feel like they lost 2 games with like early breakdowns, just like early fundamental breakdowns in their strategy a little bit. But the 1 game they won was actually really, really impressive pressure after selling both MCVs. So Root and Miko's certainly proving themselves here, but they're going to have to start clicking a little bit. They're not quite playing together, and they're allowing the isolation. We talked about that, in that last map, Jungle, a small map like that. You would think that map would play a lot more of 2v2, everyone kind of fighting, hitting each other, changing targets, but it definitely devolved into 2 1v1s, and that was Legend and Zane's plan there. You saw Zane on the very top of the map going at Root, just threatening him, just dangling on that top side to pull his attention, and that allowed Miko's to get isolated and Legend to go to work on Miko's. Rhinos for Rhinos. Miko's is a great player, but a Legend, of course, one of the best Soviet players in the world. So 1v1, Legend definitely the favorite versus Miko's. So Root and Miko's are going to need to try to find a way to play together and force this into a true 2v2 game where they can get a little bit of an advantage. All right, so now Root right in going at these miners. So the Rockies in, a couple Grizzlies, and that miner gets droned. That miner gets droned and dies before it gets to the service depot. Another miner's gonna go down as well. That's 2 miners going down for Legend. I love that pressure here. So nice early pressure, but Miko's on the backside needs to be careful. Zane's going at that 1 miner. Miko's with nothing to defend. Very, very annoying. I mean, that's a nice organ, but oh, they're going for it. They're going for it, boys. Legend in trouble. Legend in trouble. Miko's does not have any miners. Once again, Miko's, buddy, you gotta have miners. We talked about this, man. Miners matter, but they can hit. They should hit the barracks, knock Legend out. So Legend now out of this game, and Root's on the run. Root the Reaper, boys. Root the Reaper. So just like that, it's a 2v1. Mikos again. Oh, Mikos does have 1 miner. Okay, so Mikos was able to get a miner out. Now they can actually try to slow. Oh, Root sold the MCV. Yeah, I mean, they could slow it down, but there's no need to. I like this. Close it out. Bring a little momentum with you. You don't want to just win a game right now. In this series right now, I think, you know, it's comfortable to say that Zane and Legend have the momentum, and I like this. A decisive victory to bring us into match point. Not just about winning, bringing a little bit of that energy with you into the final point. Legend calls GG's, and we're burning barns, boys. Dude, Mikos and Root, this is what you call true grit. You're facing players like Legend and Zane, a couple decisive victories. You gotta ask yourself, man, are you the kind of player who bends or breaks? Oh my God, what a barn burner, boys. And Slowly with the perfectly timed barn burner. Well played, Slowly. Just like that, boys. 2v2 action, you love to see it. All comes down to this. It's 2-2, we're burning barns. Match point winner of this goes on to the finals to play Kian and Zed. Quick reminder, guys, redalert2.com, the place to be. Tell your friends, tell your family. You can learn how to download and play the game. You can sign up for the tournaments, join the Discord, connect with the community. You can check out the YouTube. The YouTube has all the highlights. The Twitch is where I stream live a few days a week. Only about 10% of my content ends up on YouTube. So if you're catching the highlights on YouTube, definitely come over to Twitch. You guys got the disco Yuri? Oh man, what a day to be alive. And of course, guys, you know, support in any way you can. All the money that comes into the stream does go back into the content, goes back to the prize pools, helps me create more content. More people watching, playing, streaming Red Alert 2. That's what it's all about, boys. RA to the moon. Of course, even if you don't donate, just hanging out, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, all that stuff helps me tremendously. The mission's simple, boys. RA to the moon. RA to the moon. So here we go. Left versus right. And Root and Mikos, dude. These are the kind of players I love to stream, that I love to host. I mean, I'm a hype man, right? I'll try to curate these kind of games, get the good players in here who are going to put on a good show. And you have a lot of even top level players who, you know, they mess something up, something goes wrong, they quit out. You know, they're not like that kind of hunger. Hunger is what you want from these guys. And Root and Mikos, really impressive here because their losses were pretty severe. It's a best of 5. Best of 13, those things are marathons. You get behind early on, you make a comeback. Best of 5, though, it's do or die, man. So for these guys to have bootstrapped their way into a match point here, very, very impressive. And again, we're going to see a double Soviet from Legend and Zane. So Legend and Zane chose this map. That was their advantage. They got to 2 points first. So in match point, they got to choose the map. And double Sov on this map, it's definitely close quarter combat. They're going to look to try to get some early pressure with their Rhinos. On the jungle map was their map pick as well. They were able to go double Sov, isolate Mikos, pinch him out. Now this map's definitely going to play very, very different. Did Root sell? We got a missing MCV? I don't see an engineer. He sold? Root sold? Oh my gosh. Okay, all right, we're going for it. This is it, boys. Buckle in. Buckle in. So he has an AFC off Mikos's. Wow. Okay, all right, here we go. So Root's going for it. Oh, here's the engineer on the run. Oh my gosh, so Root sells. And on a close, tight map like this, oh, that engineer makes a death run. So on a tight map like this, maybe they just slot, hey, double Soviet. If we let these guys progress and we let them get into a late game Rhino Wars, we can't do it. Let's go for it. So Root gets a War Factory, does get an AFC and a barracks, and then he sells. Paradrop offensive as well, looking to put some pressure. Now, Legend and Zane, if they read the map right now and they see that they've sold, they know they're coming for them, and it does make them a little bit easier for them to kind of predict, and they can kind of play this more defensive. You might see, yeah, you see a radar already for Zane. Gonna try to get some Desolators into the fight. Mikos still has the MCV. Kind of weird for Mikos to have his MCV. Mikos is like all about smashing cells on the MCVs. Oh, okay. Grizzly gets droned here, does save it. So GIs, a couple paradrops in this group. Now the Desolator play from Zane could be very, very big here. Root with a lot of GIs and a lot of fodder. It's going to come down to this Desolator. They need to be very careful. And Root dives on that Desolator and does, oh, he does not, oh, the Desolator survives on one tick. And little things like that, guys, make all the difference. That Desolator going down will be a very different look right now. All the action on the left side of the map. It comes down to this, boys. Who is going to the finals? We are about to see here very, very quickly. And in these kind of situations, one misclick can completely swing the game. And Miko's going right at Legend. Miko's, oh, he gets stuck shooting the refinery. He gets caught shooting the refinery. It must have been a misclick. You do not want to shoot a building like that. All of those tank shells that went to that refinery could have gone to Legend's tanks. Miko's was actually up for a second there. He did click that refinery, which definitely cost him. But Root comes to the bottom side. Now everyone's on the bottom side. And they roll through. They roll through. No way. Legend calls GG's. Oh, Root and Miko's. Holy shit, that was so hype. I cannot believe they won that series. Dude, those guys are, dude, that is for real, man. That is for real. Wow. Miko's and Root. Damn, that was sick. That was sick. Best of 5 like that. That's when it's so tough because you just don't have much time to adjust. You don't have that much time to go back to the drawing board and make a new game plan and talk through, you know, different things. And that was Legend and Zane's map pick there, Miko's and Root. And I'm happy for Miko's because he's just here for fun. He just doesn't want, he's just happy to be hanging out with his friends. He doesn't want to let anyone down. He's just here for a good time. He doesn't even have a weapon. Dude, you got your comic book? Ghosty, you got the comic book? Yes. Yes. I made a Red Alert 2 comic book, guys. It's got original artwork and original story. It's Yuri and Tanya, war-torn lovers, them against the world. The first ever Red Alert 2 comic book. It is unofficial and uncommercial. I don't make any money off it because that I don't own the name Red Alert 2. So it is it's fan fiction. So the money you pay is just printing and shipping. It ends up being like $8 or something. ra2themoon.com if you want to get yours.
Ciągnie was sądy.